I can be your next buyer, to be honest.
Or it's someone that is going to learn in the hard way.
Very good that people still talking about the investing.
Everybody talks about investing into apartments or like retail for a certain extent as well, or townhouses, villas.
Yeah.
That's right. Not many people talk about buying land, right? And that's where the real game is actually. You know that, right? Why do you think that is?
I think first of all, it's very good that people still talking about the investing.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's in the current
think so
climate.
too.
So
Smart people do.
Yeah, smart people. So most investors don't avoid the land because it's risky, as you said. Yeah, they avoid it because it requires a long-term decision making, I would say. So with the ready property, everything is ready. You already decided for you, to be honest.
Correct.
The design, the use, the tenant, it's
Correct.
predictable.
Correct.
But with the land, you have to think in detail, like a zoning, GFA, is it better to build mixed-use residential or full residential, or you need to add some commercial, retail, and how much does it will cost you in the end,
Correct.
So it's not just awareness or like a patient, I would say, it's like a just comfort of each investor. So most investors prefer clarify over the control.
Correct.
And the land gives you control, but only if you know how to use it,
How to use
be
it,
honest.
exactly.
Yeah.
And as you said, it requires a lot of due diligence.
Yes.
So that's definitely
It
why
will need a little-
people, they tend to invest in ready things as
Yeah.
opposed to something like
Yeah.
this.
So it's just like a comfort of each investor, I would say.
Brilliant. Good answer.
Let's introduce ourselves first.
Yes, before we move on, let's introduce ourselves again.
Okay.
We'll start with you, Saya.
Yes, my name is Saya. Actually, that's my short name, how the people knows me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, we all call her
So
Saya.
yeah, I've been in industry almost 5 years. And I'm a client manager at Lavinia Properties. Mostly I do the deals which belongs to the lands, the buildings, labor accommodations, staff accommodations. Recently I'm having quite few interesting inquiries also for the ready-mix factories. This is also part of the real estate, to be honest, like not only,
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
But also I have my own clients whose portfolio I'm handling.
Correct.
I'm still working in apartments. I still do the rent for my client for one bedroom in GVC, So I do all the cycle of the real estate.
Brilliant. That's the right way to do it, actually. Brilliant. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'll go first.
Sure.
Hey everyone, this is Donya. I'm the hypnotherapist and business mindset coach here at Lavinia Properties. Thanks for joining us today.
Brilliant. And this is Usman. I'm the group head here at Lavinia Properties, and I've been introducing myself like a million different ways in every podcast, but today I'm going to stick to just one thing. Brilliant.
That's great.
Okay, so let's move on to the second question.
So, Saya, for you, if let's say someone has some serious capital, okay, they can work with, would you say for that person, like buying a land would be a smarter decision long term? Let's for it to say compared to ready property, or what would you say?
Well, I will not say like land is not better, but to be honest, more powerful if you know again how to use it correctly. So ready property is again income play. You can buy, you rent, you have your your yield, how much it will generate you. So land is a value. I would say it's a value creation play.
Okay.
So you decide what gets built. First, you have to check what is the usage of this land, and then how dense it is, also how it's positioned, the location, of course, and how you exit.
So you would say that it really depends on their goals and their decision and what they're trying to do in the long run, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Especially with the exit strategy that you spoke
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Yes. So you're buying the product. I think this is one of the most important question. Who's your target? Who's your audience? I will construct this today. In how many years I can exit? and who will be my potential buyer.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where the real upside is, to be honest, I think.
Right.
So, but if someone buys the land without the clear plan, buy just to buy,
Yeah.
then
No
yes,
strategy.
it becomes just a narrative for me.
Exactly.
You know, and again, strategy, it makes land work. Only strategy.
Correct. Really? That's exactly why only...
Favorite word of Usman, strategy.
Favorite, my favorite
Yes.
word, absolutely. Systems and strategy. So that's exactly why you would only find very, very serious investors
Yeah.
looking into this part, and not like your average customer out there who'd be like, okay, can I even do this? Because it's for long term. It's as is already established, and it takes a lot of information to do it right.
Exactly. Buying the land is just a small, your baby step.
Exactly.
The real business, the real work starts after.
Yeah.
After you left the trust, you have your title deed.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm gonna do it now?
What's your
Yeah,
plan
exactly.
with it?
Yeah, what's your plan? And the good agent will give you the visibility even study. This is how I work with my clients. Before even to entering to the land, price is good, GFA workable, okay. There should be something, like I will just give you example with one of my clients who were looking for land which has a AFR 1.2 or 2 only. And I asked him, why does it matter? Usually the people are looking for the plot size or GFA. He said,
Yes.
because I have a design in my mind, I want to do only full of studios, which means low you have AFR, so he can make all the parking for the studios.
Correct. Yes.
I said, oh, okay, that's interesting.
He already had the clarity.
Yes, he knows that. He already done his visibility study. And I think this is also very important. Like before going land deal, you have to know what you're gonna do after you own this land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's something in commercial investments that people misunderstand in Dubai, and ends up costing them? What would you think that would be?
That's actually a good question. I'm still also learning. Each case is different. But I would say the biggest mistake is that the people just buy they see the yield. Let's say it's generating 8 to 10%. They're like, okay, blindly buying. Again, you have to do your due diligence. First of all, about the asset in general.
Correct.
And you have to ask like real questions, like if this asset is in the long-term rent, it's showing 8 to 10 yield, brilliant. But go deeper. Who's your tenant? Are they stable? Read the contract. See if this space was actually empty, would it be this space in demand today? Can I exit this in a few years? And how much premium I can make? You have to do like an analysis sort of things before even just saying, oh, okay, 8 to 10% I'm in. So weak commercial asset can stay vacant for long times. And I've seen a lot of commercial assets. Brilliant, location is good, ownership, the status, everything is good, but they're just empty.
Correct.
And suddenly that high yield doesn't exist anymore for you.
Correct.
If you're just having the empty space.
Correct.
So this misunderstanding, thinking commercial equals like a stable, is only stable if the fundamentals are right.
Absolutely. Very nice.
I agree.
Because mostly it's people chase the vanity numbers. They look like 8% real I can get, 10%. Wow, that's brilliant. Let's invest into that. There's a lot that comes afterwards. That
a lot.
people are mostly not aware of. So
And
that's where the right kind of people can guide them actually comes into play.
Yeah, and having the right right person as a guidance,
Absolutely.
as a guide. I mean,
you have to read between the lines.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What this contract is having, who is this tenant, how financially they're stable. You have to ask a lot of questions.
Correct.
And a lot of this comes from experience as well. So the person that you choose should have the experience, like expertise in this area to be able to help you properly. I guess my next question is, when you come across a client that wants to buy a land or a commercial, what is it that it instantly tells you if this person is someone that understands the game, you know, or it's someone that is going to learn in the hard way?
For me, kind of serious investor will ask, like, what is the purpose of this land? Who's the end user? You know, to whom I'm gonna sell it or rent it tomorrow? What's my exit? Like a broadcast.
Yeah.
2 to 4 years, 5 to 6, you know? And then what's the downside?
Exactly. That's also very important.
Yeah.
I think it's a good question to
Yeah,
ask.
yeah. So like they think in scenarios different. ABC, like low, normal, and the perfect way, you know?
Perfect picture, exactly.
And they always calculate on the, how to say, not the worst scenario, but...
They keep
the
that
lowest
in
possible,
mind. They
basically,
keep that on
they
the
can do.
side. Yeah.
So if they can make it more, brilliant. If not, they still have a, you know,
They have the
An
margin
idea.
to
an
play
idea.
around. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a way to go about.
Yeah, and then if someone who's just not experienced, or as you said, just trying to learn now,
Yeah.
they will usually ask like, is it a good deal? Will the price you think go up
Yeah, exactly.
after 6
It's like
months?
more basic questions,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
After 6 months, can I sell it for this X, Y, that amount? Yes, definitely. And trust me, a lot of agents will say, yes, you can. Yes, in that market, we were very active. That was the seller's market. However, even now, I see a lot of opportunities for my buyers. And I tell them every day, get on the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
This is your chance.
This is the chance.
You
Exactly.
know?
This is the moment.
Yeah. So I would say this kind of questions give me the guide. Is he a serious investor or just, you know, starting
someone
his
on the
journey?
chart, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So a very specific question. And the reason why it's specific is because I know a customer out there who's actually looking for this right now. So in times like this,
Yeah.
you know, there's a perception of uncertainty as well. Do you think buying a land is a very attractive thing or a very risky thing?
I think Usman is both. It depends again, like on what's your goal and strategy.
Correct.
Like I would say for inexperienced like investors, uncertainty makes land more risky for them maybe.
Correct.
Because of there are too many variables.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct.
Yeah, but for the experienced investors, this current situation is actually where the best opportunities, like, you know, appear.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was just telling you before, when we started this podcast, like I do have sellers who purchased the land. They purchased to make the premium just to resell.
Correct.
They did not had any plan to construct, you know, and then now they're ready to sell even at original price because they don't know what to do. And in each land, depends on the area and zoning. You have a timeline from the master developer from XYZ time. If you don't start your shoring, if you don't start your construction, like you're gonna pay fines.
Of course.
Not all the people knows that.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't know that.
Yeah, people think it's very easy for the developer to just, buy the land and then,
like
they make
you
a lot
buy,
of money.
I own it, I can keep it. Like whenever I want to start, I will start. No, like Dubai is a young city, ambitious city, and government have rules like they want to that each area will develop, right? So you cannot just hold the land and wait.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's very well regulated, of course.
Yeah, I like that.
This is why
makes a lot of sense too, and benefits of the people that would be buying those lands around your land.
Absolutely.
So it makes a lot of sense.
This is exactly why Dubai has been able to achieve what it has been able to achieve over the years, because of these kind of regulations as well. But most of the people are completely unaware of this.
They don't know,
They don't
and
know
then they come to master developer and say, oh, I have a fine. For what? Oh, there is a fine for XYZ. You should start with this. You're delaying. That's why, again, it's very important to read all your sales purchase agreement and everything. Know the zonings, etc. So backing to the experienced investors, I think now it's a good time. Like you can negotiate better, structure deals better, and you can enter the prices in very attractive levels.
Absolutely. And again, as you know, land is like a big percentage of your investment as well, right? So if you're buying it at the right sort of rate, then it will give you the leverage of either making that 100 dirhams per square feet extra,
Yeah.
or giving that advantage to your end user at the
Yeah.
end of the day, or the investor at the end of the day,
Yeah.
so that your building sells out faster as well. So like again, there's two-way about it as well, and the benefit can be from both
Yeah.
sides.
Makes
So
sense.
that's genuinely like this is exactly why it's the right time to buy the land.
Yeah, for the right
For the
investor,
right
this
investor.
is like it's opportunity.
Exactly.
I think it's everything has its own kind of an audience, as we were talking
Yeah.
about, right? Or its own kind of consumer at the end of the day, and it can be tailored towards different people depending on what their goal is, right? Which that brings me to if, say, let's say right now you were to guide someone, okay, that has more of a long-term vision for, here in Dubai, what would be the advice you would give to that person?
First of all, I would like to know his background. If he was the investor, like who's investing like a 10 to 20 million, but he was fully doing, let's say, our apartments for the holiday homes. That kind of investor will be hard to me, like to explain. It will take longer time, and by that time price again will go up, you know. So I would say, like, for example, for the investors who already have experience in Dubai specifically, I see strong logic in industrial zones, logistic areas, staff accommodation, very important.
Correct. It's a big game.
Labor camps.
Especially for a place like Dubai that has new people coming in all the time.
Like even this situation have started. Have you seen ever that the construction was stopped? No. Never. They will not stop. And who's building this city? It's like laborers. They are here, They have work. They don't know what's happening. Like they have work. So I would say staff accommodation, labor camp developments, and then mixed use opportunities in emerging zones. So I think this will be like long-term demand.
A good long-term plan, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Investing, exactly. Investing in these kind of things would be, very, very fruitful at this time, to be very honest, because this is where you can grab, like the best chunk of it, And of course, the business will always be there, but this is exactly the right time to do it. So,
I think a lot of like manufacturing, the businesses will open more. So these areas which I have just shared with you guys, I think this is the most like a juicy segment. To focus on. Yes,
makes a lot of sense.
Most people wait for the clarity before they invest.
Correct.
But by the time things are clear, the opportunity is already gone.
Oh my God! This is like my mirror. This is like my mirror. Oh my God!
Because you see, I would say like a lot of people now. I see like 5% people who just wants to get out from their properties. Most of them maybe it was off plan, and maybe those people was just buying because it was hype. My friend bought there. Okay, let me buy also there. But they don't have also the strategy. There's another 5%, the sellers who doesn't want to, no, I'm not moving, this is my price.
Exactly.
And I know how much value it costs my property. So 5% there, 5% there. But 90% still is like a big gap.
Exactly.
And we will see a real transaction, I think, after this 3 months. Maybe off-plan will be a little bit cool down.
Perhaps.
But there are a lot of distressed deals coming. I see that. Even today I received once and I was like, it's very good, I should have bought this. I can be your next buyer, to be honest.
Exactly. That's how the market develops over a period of time, So especially in times like this, there's always an audience out there who panics. And there's always an audience out there who's like, I'm here for the long run. So I know I've seen this before, and I've seen this, come up as well. So there's always opportunity for everybody.
1,400 missiles going towards UAE.
Exactly.
And UAE handled perfectly.
Absolutely. So
they're prepared.
They're prepared. They're ready
for everything. Everything. Brilliant.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us today, and this has been a
This has been a
Very
lovely chat.
informative conversation.
Very informative. Only we could have this with Saya, actually. That's the
Oh,
whole. That's the
thank
whole.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you
Brilliant.
guys for having me.
This has been great. Thank you so much for coming to this podcast and
And
joining
thanks
us.
for joining us.
This was very informative.
And thanks for joining us
Well, thank
today
you.
as well. And we'll see you on the next one.
See you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.